If you live long enough. And if you live like me, you'll be 93. As I've come now, finally somebody got the idea and the courage to do the work. I'm talking about that little semicircle in the front with the flowers. You notice the beautiful flowers out there now? Somebody finally did it. I've been dying to do it, but I cannot do it anymore. My brain and my heart wants to do it, the body can't do it. And so when I tried to plant my flowers, I had a hard time. I had to work with roots, get the roots out, but all of it, I did it. I didn't realize it, but I know I did it with a lot of love. And doing it for him, I could do anything. Father Neary was the one got me started going to church every day, because one Lent he said, "Why do you always give up candy? Why do you always give up everything? Do something instead of give up." And my kids were, thank God, a little older then too, so I said, and he said, "Go to church every day." And I thought, oh, sure. But I said, okay. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to church every day. And that's what I miss a lot. People say, I miss you. I miss me more. Because I love to sing now. And then, all life evolves. That's another word I never liked, but I'm beginning to understand it more. Life evolves. Or another word that's good for life is it's a process. Mm-hmm. It's a process.
It's a journey.
And then you're going towards the right direction. You're lucky. If you're not, you're in trouble. But anyway, so Father Neary did that, and I started. And when Lent was over, this is just Blessed Mother by herself. There was no cage
before we encaged her.
And the thing is,
these are your children?
Two sons and their wives, and one baby that was born. I have 13 grandchildren and 12 greats, but in June I will have 14 greats. Now the Blessed Mother used to look, because the Filipino people like Blessed Mother's heart outside.
Yeah.
This is how Blessed Mother used to look. And they finally put her in a cage. Yeah, now, the flowers there, I planted them. You'll find the crepe myrtle tree that's there now.
Oh, it's huge.
And this tells you this was in 1996.
Wow.
And I planted that crepe myrtle tree that's there now.
Nice.
And the one that's by the bell tower. Eleanor Havey.
Oh, Eleanor Havey. No. Was she involved
with that? She was there one day, and I said, "Eleanor,
that's
stand up.
Eleanor.
I'm going to take a picture of you with my flowers." In 1948, my husband and I were married in Hawaii. 2 years later, we decided to come to Sacramento. He decided to come to Sacramento. And then where Frank's family lived we came with Francine. She was born in Hawaii. And that was 1950. So we've been here since 1950.
You came directly to this area.
Yeah. I was very, very, very homesick, for I never had been away from home and family and my mother and father. Sunday morning came and I wondered where there was a Catholic church. My father-in-law said he knew of a Catholic church on Broadway, the Immaculate Conception Church. So I went and was so happy to hear the Latin Mass being sung. I felt this was my church, Catholic. I wanted to be closer to a Catholic church. So we discovered All Hallows Wooden Church on 14th Avenue. Still feeling homesick, lost. Church was my salvation and home. Years passed and we were blessed with 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys, and now we have 13 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren, and soon in June 2 more, so it'll be 14. God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is the center of our lives. Blessed Mother Mary and St. Joseph and all the saints. All the Hallows Church became our church. The old church made of wood was soon to become St. Peter's Church. A new church made of bricks rose up and is now All Hallows Church. It had a choir loft, which was used, and I joined the choir, led by Ted Myers. And I'm, some of this is kind of weird. I'm the one that's left of whatever we started. And the choir loft, who was that priest? Father, kind of tall and skinny Irish priest. And when this was all built, there was an announcement in the bulletin. I was all kind of new to this.
Monsignor McGuire.
I knew I could carry a tune, but...
Monsignor McGuire.
That's him, because he put a notice, he wants to start a choir. So he had the date when to meet, and we came. I was here with me, 2 other people, and he was so disappointed. And then he said, I'm going to put it in the bulletin again. Put it in the bulletin. Came again. Just a few people again. This is not going to make a choir. They said, we're going to do it again. Third time is, we either going to do it or third time strike out. So the third time more people came. And so we came and went up there. Now, do you remember Ted Myers?
I remember Ted Myers. I remember his son. And I remember Vic Kospinski.
Yeah.
And my mother, Elisa Kiefer, you probably knew her. She sang in the choir. Elisa
Yes,
Kiefer.
yes, she did. She died kind of young too, didn't she? No. But do you remember the lady who played the organ? I learned Latin from when I was a child.
Uh-huh.
There was a German priest who came, and before we did a catechism, he had this chart up there with the Mass of the Angels, the Kyrie and the Gloria, all of them, and we had to sing them till we got it in here in memory.
Sure.
So, because in all the things like the gardening, the gift shop, the counting money, and joining the choir, in all of that, we most of the time, not the choir, we had 4 people. In all of that, everybody's gone but me.
Yeah.
In the counting of the money, the original counters.
Yeah.
And when I did the yard work, I did that really alone. I didn't have in the choir, no. But then the other one was what was the other one? 2 things. Oh, the gift shop.
Well, money counter. Eleanor Havey's still here. Eleanor Havey was a money counter.
Well, you know, they might have been doing it. I remember when we were right here when Father Paul was still here, and he said, the diocese wants the parishioners now to count money.
Oh.
Those days, I was just like most people who went to Mass on Sunday mornings and went straight home, not involved in any church activities. Our children went to public schools. Years passed, now All Hallows seems and feels like home. With real friends, I joined the Altar Society. I put down, I thought the church, I'm in the church maybe at 64 years. But this church wasn't, I came here before this church was built. And I came in 1950. I was in the old church, so that should give you an idea. Okay, so then I went on to say part of the duties of the Altar Society, I guess, was it what I joined? Part of our duties was naturally taking care of the church, cleaning the altar linens, and the priest's clothes and whatever else, and so on. Now most members are old, and the Altar Society needs new blood. Our church had many wonderful priests. Yeah, we've had a history of priests. The priests, when they had a bunch of Irish priests. Remember
always
so many Irish priests? You didn't know if they belonged to us. Who did
We always had Irish priests.
Always Irish priests. In fact, if you live long enough to see the world change, or your home change, or your parish change, this church used to be filled with white people, blonde hair, and all most of it. Now you if you catch anybody, you catch a gray head, not a blondie. Because they're all old.
Yeah.
So the
Irish
complexion of
and
the word, sometimes God will give you, and the Holy Spirit will give you the word. Sometimes I've opened my mouth, things that come. Why I'm a simple high school educated person. That's it. But I can tell you a lot more about this world than people can tell you at went to college. The thing is that I use that word complexion. The complexion, when you think about it, especially if you're up in that choir loft. Not now, if you went now, because then it was mostly with hats. They had hats on, and you got to be good because you only got one life to live. And your body is a temple of the Lord. And so I was very blessed with the Lord because, my life was very simple. But in Hawaii, we didn't have all the drug problems they have today and so much hate and everything. This world is upside down. And mother had 7 children. We went to school with no shoes. We were so poor, nobody told us that we were poor. So we could complain. Nobody told us.
What island were you born on?
Oahu. Where Pearl Harbor was hit.
You were there?
I was there. And you know what was so weird? That was a Sunday morning. The church was St. Michael's Church. It was going to have a festival to celebrate the feast. And so my sister and I were getting ready to go to church in the morning. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning. And we could hear planes flying around, and we looked out, and I also saw spots like white clouds, but we didn't know what it was. So my sister and I said, "Why are they on maneuvers on a Sunday? Why don't they go to church instead?" So we were getting dressed to go to church. Well, we have to walk down a little hill to go to church. As we were leaving home, we were all dressed to go to church. Some of the neighbors were yelling out their window saying, "Put your radio on, put your radio on." And then if we got down somewhere, I said, "What are they talking about your radio on for?" So I was in it and didn't even know it. And know how I knew how much that was happening then? When I saw Torah. That's when I knew what I was in.
Oh,
then.
yeah. So you lived on that
Because
island?
we live on the island, and yet where we were driving by car would have taken about 35, 40 minutes to get from where we were to where some of them were hit. It was in Schofield Barracks. That was close to my house. That about 25 minutes. But see, the war we had then is different. The war, they had different weapons. They had different uniforms. You know the enemy. Today, you don't know your enemy.
That's true.
Remember all I'm telling you, because this is the truth. The enemy today is for the soul and for your mind and everything else. And it doesn't wear an all uniform unless it's your Muslims or some other whatever they're fighting for. Don't ask me about that. All I know is they talk a lot about them. But some of them are good and some are bad. You know, like everything else. Some is good, some's bad. So anyway, my sister and I kept going. So we were walking down. Now, in those days, they had a saying for if you were in the Marines, they had sayings for the different branches of the service. And we were walking down, this guy's coming up with his car. He stopped and goes, "Hey, you girls, you kids better go to home. There's a war on. You better go home." And we didn't know what he was talking about. We probably didn't even know what a war was because we were so simple in our lives.
Sure.
And so we turned around, but we knew the word, "Go tell it to the Marines." And another car came up, stopped again, said something like, we turned around and said the same thing. But we didn't know until we got down to the church, and the people, instead of being in the church, were all outside because Mass was late, very late. And they wondered, where's the priest? The priest was supposed to come as a guest priest from Pearl Harbor area, passed through Pearl Harbor to come. And he couldn't come through because the war started. But he was late. But he managed to get through after about 25 minutes. We were all about ready to go home. So then he came and he said, "Everybody go in, I'll give you communion, you all go home." I said, "Well, what is so? Oh my gosh." But then we heard the planes flying over too, and we didn't know what planes they were. Could have been our plane. But then Father said, "Well, when the planes stop flying over, you all better run home," which is what we did. And then our rumors went flying. Now this is, remember, in December, Hawaii gets a lot of rain, and the ground is wet and muddy. They told people, "You go home and dig yourself a trench, so you can go in it if they come back again." And then they said, at night, no lights. But you want to hear something stupid but funny in a way? My father smoked cigarettes. Now we're inside a house, all the shades are down. You know those radios when they only had that little dial? You've seen maybe on an antique, you can find it now. When we had no TV. So it was a radio if you got any news. The radio, it was a console like, but it just had a little red dial for you to dial into. Well, we were sitting down listening to the news, and my father pulled out the cigarette stuff, and he was going to light a match, and we went over. I said, "No, Papa, no, you can't do that. Go down." And then we realized that we were inside a house. But then we did run one time into the trench because they had the siren and all, but nothing came after that because they got rid of them. You know what happened with the rest. If you saw Torah, you saw more than I really knew. Later on, throughout the years, they found houses that had a bullet in their wall, or one time they found a bomb that must have been a dud because it didn't explode.
Oh, that's
This guy was going to build a house for foundation, and that's where he found the
Fortunately, you were on the other side of the island.
Yeah, so anyway, how did I get to Hawaii from this?
Because I asked you a question. I'm sorry.
No. Well, anyway, let me get through this a little bit more. Counting money? No. Part of our duty was to care for the church and all the linens. Our church was, we had Father Paul. Okay, Father Paul, rest in peace. We had him for 7 years. We were going to count money. Then we said the diocese wanted parishioners to participate in counting church collection money. So Father Paul asked for volunteers. I am the last of the 4. We had others, but then, they'll fill in like Ramona and all those. I loved doing it for a long time, and we had a lot of fun. Man, and in those days, We were there. We get in church first. We had a cup of coffee and a few donuts or something, and then we counted money. And then after, if you go through it long enough, and we got somebody else, like Gloria came in, and these other people, they were so anxious to go home, I guess, and me, I didn't care if I went home late. So then they went right into counting money, and I got there and said, where's the donuts, where's the coffee? Oh, they're counting money already. Okay, so then no more coffee and donuts. But I had fun.
It wasn't such a social event after a while.
Yeah. I said everything.
It's all business now.
Okay, 2 other projects I did was gardening and started a gift shop. Father Paul wanted a gift shop so people could buy religious items. Again, we had 4 volunteers, myself, Ramona, Eloise, and another lady, I don't remember her name. I'm again the last survivor along with selling items. I realized I was evangelizing. It was so satisfying knowing I could tell everybody about God. I love to talk about God and His kingdom. And if you know people nowadays, they don't like me too much because I talk too much about God. But I don't care. And okay, I'm not quite through, then we can go to more. I want to talk about the gift shop later. I didn't put it in. I had 4. Hey, I had a gift shop that was made for good people. Because everything was donated. Father got somebody who had, if you remember, we had a counter in the front with glass in the front, like you show a showcase.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
that was one. That had 1 key, and then somebody gave Father cupboards. That's another key. I had 5 keys for my gift shop. 5 keys in the back. And if you were a bad person, you don't need the keys. You just pull on that door. You got everything you wanted.
Yeah, they weren't real good locks.
And one day I thought about that because I looked at it and said, gee, if anybody can, and I would try to open the door without the key. And so I said, this is made for good people because they won't go in if they feel it's locked. But bad people, they'll break it down and take it. And I was right there waiting for the 10 o'clock mass and instead of waiting and just doing nothing, I peeked in. And in that short of time, a lady came in. And before I noticed she was about ready to leave. I said, can I help you? And she had already taken stuff and was running out in that shorter time. Okay, after many years, I ended up working alone. I said aloud, one day, this is cute. I said aloud, I said, one day I said, I'm tired and I'm not going to have the gift shop anymore. I'm going to get rid of it. And I said it aloud, so somebody said, no. And I said, who said no? And it was, believe it or not, at the time I didn't know her too well, but it was Carmen. And I heard her, and I said to her, do you want to take it over? And she said, she had kind of a look in her face, and she wanted to talk to a friend. And she came back and she says, she talked to a friend, she says, they said yes. I was so happy because I really didn't want to close it because I knew that if people would come to find out how to say a rosary. And I thought they'd buy a rosary because they knew how to say the rosary. They didn't know. Oh my gosh, it was really wonderful. God always provided with Carmen Marino. And she had a friend that started with her at one time, but Carmen also had a husband who was coming to church and 2 children.
Right.
So they were able to help her. I was doing it all alone. And then, of course, when I did it, we didn't charge tax. And so they said, if they're going to put you, if I have to start really being strict with my money, I don't want it because I'm not good with that. So I did what I did most of the time. In fact, sometimes I even almost gave people stuff because it's cheap. I mean, I would think you can go to that 5 and dime store and get a lot of, you remember you can go get all those religious items for 99 cents and they were getting it over like for a couple of dollars. And I would feel kind of guilty sometimes. I'd say, how about $1? And then my brother-in-law made rosaries in Hawaii. He made a lot of rosaries for me. I paid him and I sold it. I always gave the profit I never took because it's not for him, it's not for me. So I had all of that going, okay, then she said no, and then, coming. God always sent people who always have so much to do already, and her plate is full. The gift shop is beautiful now, and it's different in a better place, a stronger place, and she will need someday to need help. Yeah. I saw the church yard needed some life and color, so I volunteered my time and money to weed and plant flowers. It was very hard, but I enjoyed doing it. Did it for a long time till old age said no more. I leave behind that crepe myrtle tree by the bell tower and the one in the front. Those are two I planted when they were little, so that's what I'm leaving some of that behind. Then you guys saw the pictures. All the things we do it with the love of God in our hearts, allowing His will to be done. With 69 years of memories at All Hallows Church and 93 years of my life, I thank God for All Hallows Church, the Catholic radio station, Mother Angelica and EWTN, our 4 wonderful children, and extended family members, relatives, and friends. Also for letting me grow in my faith, giving me the knowledge I need to talk about Jesus anywhere I go, on the phone, at the door, in the store, in the doctor's office, anywhere I meet. And one more thing, especially in my singing, because I love to sing 5 verses if you had them, because it tells a story. And those people just shut me up in church. They said only 2 songs and to begin, the entrance and the exit.
And they don't understand. Many of them are a prayer. They're based on a prayer, and you do have to do the whole thing. I understand because sometimes we cut short because we have to.
Well, first of all, God gave me a voice. Now I'm not a professional, but I love to sing, And also He made me loud. Why did He make me loud? He made me so loud. He made me so many ways, and yet I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong, Jesus. I'm not complaining because He makes it. I want to give you 2 more examples of life. A bowl of fruit and a bowl of flowers. I happen to always be in the flowers, the red rose. I'm loud, I'm noisy. Everybody's always telling me to be quiet. Time out. Okay? And then other people, and I have 2 daughters. One is a pastel. I mean, she's quiet. Sometimes I am having trouble with my ear, but sometimes it's the person who's speaking that gets the problem, not you all the time. But I know that. So the flowers, you have your yellows and you have your pink, and some people are quiet and genteel, and God made us all different. Same thing with the bowl of fruit. Maybe I'm the red apple in there. Oh no, I take it back. I'm the nuts you put on top.
You're crunchy.
You got a bowl, you make a bowl of fruit people eat. A lot of times they put nuts. Well, I guess I'm the nut. I'm always in trouble. And I shed tears not wanting for them. I wanted to sing the songs so bad, and I know I can't because they said, you shouldn't sing. And that's not what EWTN does with their mass. If you've seen anybody here got EWTN.
Right.
Yeah, you got EWTN, you watch it.
Yeah.
And it's when they sing, they don't stop. And what? And another thing, they act like they were afraid of the priest. Father, let's stop that singing. Stop that singing. Well, Father, and they go through another whole verse. Sometimes too, and Father's still waiting, and he's still waiting.
It's okay, you can wait.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's your mass too. It's not just his.
Same thing, even now I go also now to the cemetery mass at 10 o'clock Saturday morning because they don't have no mass here. And when God lets me, helps me, I got to tell you a couple of things about God you guys got to know. Because maybe he's not going to tell you, but I will. And so sometimes when you get over there's some priests, they look at me and say, going to sing today? But some priests you can tell like they're in a hurry. But sometimes they have a funeral, so they have to be in a hurry. I can understand that, and I will obey. The other thing I learned that too, is with singing, the way they were so upset about it, and I said, okay, Lord, like with, who was it, John the Baptist? When he was baptizing Jesus, he says, now I must grow less, and he must grow greater, God. Okay, so now I figure, it's me. I got to go less. I've got to go less. They wanted, they're the majority. I have to give them what they want, let them do what they want to make them happy. I don't want them to leave the church, so I'm going to back off. So that's what I did. And then another thing with Jesus, you got to remember, I can even teach you a prayer, but maybe you know it already. He answers prayers. He answers prayers, and he's answered mine so many times. I don't know if I put that one in here. I don't know if I put that one. Sometimes when I was coming to church every morning, I know I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. Oh, I'm not going to make it. I know I'm going to be late. Oh, Jesus, please, stop the clock. Stop the clock. Please stop the clock. I want to be there before Father comes out. Every single time at work. I'm sitting there late. I'm saying, how did I get here? How did I get here, Lord? Thank you. And don't forget, thank you a lot. a lot of thank yous. Tell him how you thank him. And the other thing, when I get up in the morning, sit there on the edge of the bed, you know that prayer now that he says. It has three verses that say, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and shall be opened. In fact, I even told that to a doctor to come to my house the other day. Blue Shield now is going to try to get, not hospices, but not quite the same. But if you get sick, instead of going to the doctor, you can call them, and if they did, they'll come to the house, kind of thing. And so I was telling him what I do, because I said, ask and you shall receive. I told them this prayer, and I ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, and knock and shall be done. I said, remember, I said, ask, and now if you don't ask with your mouth, you ain't gonna get it. And knock. He's not gonna hear you, because the door only has a knob on one side. And if you don't knock and you don't ask, even when you're doing your test in school, take a chance on it. And then the other is ask, knock and ask, and ask and shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Go looking for him. And then knock the other. And then that one that's even more important is that second, you might say verse, stanza, whatever you call it. It said, all that, now Jesus is talking. See, sometimes even I used to get mixed. And I'm glad in my childhood, I went strictly to Jesus. Nobody told us to pray about saints, and nobody told us to pray to Blessed Mother. It was always Jesus. So I went straight to Jesus. And when I found out Jesus and the Lord is the same, oh man, that made me feel good, because I didn't have to worry anymore, because I'm catching two of them in one. But then I read a book one time too that did tell me that God the Father is also in divine nature. Separate, Father, Son. It is three divine people, but you can sometimes put them in one. And the three is the Father. Jesus said, ask. Oh, the Father. When I found out about the Father was in the book I read, he was a little hurt because a lot of people don't always go to him. They go straight to the Son. And he said, I exist. So he's there too. So when I say, Jesus said, and Jesus is saying it now. Jesus said, ask. Jesus said, all that you ask of my Father. He's telling us, all that you ask of my Father in my name, he will grant you. And then it goes into this part that's beautiful. Always, all three of them. Through the intercession of thy most holy mother. Go back to my mother too. Through the intercession of thy most holy mother. I humbly, that's humbly is an important word. I humbly and urgently ask thy Father in thy name. That's really very profound. Thy Father in thy name, that my prayers will be granted. Now, the third one is, Jesus said, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass. Through the intercession of thy most holy mother, I feel confident that my prayers will be answered. You know that prayer is there. And it's all three of them in one. And then, so when I get up in the morning, I say this prayer, and then it also says, and you remember, one thing Jesus says too, ask and you shall receive all of that. He said, also you have to believe that you are going to receive it. If you just said, oh, well, but if you don't believe in your heart that you're really going to receive it, it doesn't work. You have to believe that you'll receive it, and it is yours, says the Lord. You know, and so, one more. When I sit at the edge of my bed, I remember this one I like, because this one goes with the stop the clock. I said, from the top of my head, now I touch my skull, top of my head, to the bottom of my feet, side to side, all the way up, side to side. And front and back, and in between. Help me to get out of this bed and do what you want me to do. But I give her, you know why Mother Angelic said, now you know the story of Mother Angelic, how she got hurt. And then she said to the doctor, she told Jesus, if you make me well again and walk, she said, I will build you a monastery in the south. Now, that's down what, Louisiana, Alabama, down there. Most of the time, that's mostly Protestant. Why did she say that? But also, she got hurt in her early years. she hated nuns. She went to a Catholic school, but hated nuns. And then she had a mother and father were divorced. So that was, in those days, a stigma. In those days, you got divorced, man. That was like 1 in a million. And everybody knew about it, and you got stigmatized by that. People didn't like you and all that. Today, it's the opposite today. It's the opposite today. Almost everybody's divorced, and few are solid. And so with Mother Angelica, when she got hurt, she was cleaning the floors. She lost track of the outfit she was using. Tried to get it back. It slammed her against the wall. It broke her back. And she was for 40 years. There's a book out on her life story. I love it. She was for 40 years with braces on her both legs, going all the way up, a brace on her back. And she walked that way for a long time. She had to have special shoes. But when she got hurt, and the doctor told her she'd never walk again, she asked the Lord, if he let her walk again, she will build him a monastery in the south. But she forgot to tell him, without pain, build me a monastery in the south. She always warned people, if you see her on TV, she's full of love and laughter, and she makes something. She reads the Bible, but she interprets it herself. And when you get through, you're just dying laughing with her, because she said, now remember, this is not in the Bible. It's my interpretation. Because she don't want people to go complain later to people and say, oh, that's not in the Bible. Mother Angelica said. She said, no, it's my way of thinking. But with God, to put it plain and simple, He's your best friend, always with you forever. Wherever you go, there He is. If you want to get rid of Him, you just commit sins. Don't take His 10 commandments serious, like 10 suggestions and not 10 suggestions. All of that. You stay with the Lord, and you're going to be really, really good. But I know my time, our world was different. They didn't have what you guys have all today. The anger that's out there, that it's just different. So I'm in my own home. I'm in my cocoon. I don't go out. I'm too old now anyway. But you guys are out there. You got to go to school. You got to go shopping. You got to go wherever you have to go. But you like it or not, you have to be out there. So that's where you have to build yourself to be strong. It's good. And you have to have good from evil, so you choose good, right from wrong. Hate. I hate that word, hate. I really hate that word, hate, but I dislike you immensely. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
difference.
I don't like you, but not a hate. I hate that word, hate. So hate versus love, and you got to remember the devil is still around. The devil didn't go to any place and disappear. He's still trying to take over from God. The devil is real. I just love it when I have every chance I can to talk about it. But you know what I keep saying though? It does help a lot if you really strong in it, have no doubt about it, and you what's the word? You really love him, and he's watching you every minute too. The other part, don't you think when they hear that he loves you like you're the only person on the face of the earth? All of that is just unbelievable, but he's so great. I should talk, like I said, I can talk forever about him if you want. And he has given me opportunity to do that. Like when they were talking about Christmas and you couldn't say Merry Christmas, I'm in the store, they say have a nice holiday. I said, wait, what was that? Oh, no. Say Merry Christmas. And they did. They said Merry Christmas. I said, thank you, that was for me.